Hey everyone, I'm Nicole. These last 10 weeks, I've been with the New Jersey Innovation Authority alongside Salvador. Um, I was a design fellow there on the business experience team, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about my work simplifying how New Jersey business owners discover funding and certification opportunities. This was similarly my stretch project, so I worked on it for one sprint cycle, so around 2 weeks. So to start off, the business experience team primarily works with this product slash service business.nj.gov. It's used by over 240,000 business owners, and they come here to manage their compliance, so licenses and permits, find the latest updates on policy that may affect them, and then learn about optional resources and opportunities such as funding and certifications. Yeah, to provide, I guess, a little bit more context, the majority of users on this are small business owners. So this is something that's directly tied to the livelihoods of New Jerseyans, New Jersey folk. So yeah, it's really important that we make this experience as seamless and easy as possible, so that your taco driver, taco truck owner, I guess, can focus on making the tacos and not so much filling out all the forms it takes to run this truck. Yeah, so a little bit about the current experience. On the left here is the dashboard experience. So this is what you would see if you were logged in, up and running business owner, registered with the state. On the left hand, you have tasks and deadlines, and on the right side in a long column, you have the certification and funding opportunities. So this is what happens when you scroll. You eventually end up, yeah, seeing this long list of up to 60 options that are quite difficult to tell apart unless you click into them. This makes it really difficult for business owners to identify which certification and funding opportunities they qualify for, which ones are actually valuable to them and their business specific goals. Um, on the right here, there's a little bit more data to, I guess, point to I guess, the urgency of maybe a better design. On the static site, which is the logged out experience, where yeah, you don't need to be logged in to view. There's a lot of help content there, and amongst all the content, certifications pages and specifically the minority women-owned business pages are consistently amongst the top 10, 11 pages viewed. So the site traffic here is quite high, and I think it points and reinforces the fact that this is something that's valuable to business owners. So we oriented our design around this question: how might we surface the most relevant opportunities without requiring business owners to scroll through dozens of options in the For You column? And three North Stars that we guided our solutioning, yeah, that guided our solutioning. One, how can we differentiate between urgent, optional, and recommended opportunities? Two, how can we highlight the value proposition of each opportunity? And three, how can we clearly communicate why opportunities were being recommended to users? To start off, I met with a lot of designers and product managers who had worked on this area of the product to just build context. So I did a lot of documenting of the past discovery work, as well as seeing through design files of stuff that's already been started. I read through old tickets in the project management system, and then yeah, listened to some user interview recordings, and also testing insights that was on Dovetail. Two big learnings from this process of building context. One, there's a parallel effort to redesign the My Account dashboard entirely, so it would get rid of the For You column that I was working within. And two, there have been past efforts to propose filtering within this column. So I guess the latter gives us a starting off point of exploration. This really shifted our goals to focus on design patterns that are applicable even if we move away from the For You column in future dashboard designs. And this is about kind of future-proofing our work. We don't want the work that we do now within the current constraints to be things that aren't so relevant for the future and the future constraints. Going into feature exploration, first we looked at smart tagging within opportunity cards. And starting off here, I worked with content design folks to map out kind of what makes an opportunity relevant to our business owners. There's been, yeah, some findings in the past that a lot of the funding opportunities are not actually relevant and they apply to more like larger businesses. And again, our site serves mainly small business owners. So this is really important to look into the eligibility requirements and preferences for certification and funding opportunities. And we ended up defining relevance as like the likelihood that a business owner qualifies for an opportunity. So kind of the assumption that if they qualify, these are valuable opportunities, they would want to have this opportunity. This informed our newer card design. So on the left is the old and on the right is a new. You'll see we added more specifics to the kind of funding you would get. So if it's yeah, under funding opportunities, there's tax credits, hiring support, grants, loans. So specifying that to differentiate the list, as well as adding these tags on the bottom that have to do with more specifically to like the mapping exercise we did and which attributes of like a business inform kind of the opportunities they qualify for. Two, we looked at filtering. So this builds off of past exploration, as I mentioned. And this feature is really about giving business owners more control over the list of opportunities they're seeing. So giving them more agency within this like surfacing relevant opportunities problem. And something I guess, a mental model that we have is that funding and certifications they both fall under opportunities. This is our understanding of the user, but it may be that this isn't necessarily the case. So giving them the option to toggle off of certifications or specific funding kind of gives a solution if that's not the mental model they're working off of. So the first two features are they're quicker wins. They're more UI focused. This third feature thinks about how can we surface relevant opportunities using personalization or customization. Um, and here's the current flow. Again, on the left is the dashboard. You'll see that there is a card under the For You column and a link to go to your profile to customize and enter more information. So if you go into your profile, there's business information, and then if you click in Personalize My Experience, you can fill out even more information. Something to call out here. There's two there's two call outs and I guess like CTAs within the dashboard, and one is on the left side and one is on the right. But both of these point to the same place. Also, as we mentioned before, it's been on the left is like the required stuff, and on the right is the nice to haves. But the actions that you take in both of these affect your experience throughout, and that's not really clear from what you're seeing now. And now I'm going to show you guys a little prototype of this one. I actually have it pulled up here. Let's do this. Yeah, so for this version, we got rid of the call out on the left and then replaced the one on the right with a wizard. And here, instead of having to go into your profile, we brought in the questions. And you'll see it's three quick questions, so it should be a really short, easy experience. And this is also informed by some of the mapping exercise work we did that I spoke to of just the questions that were most relevant to business owners. And we wanted to make sure to specify what this information is being collected for, especially ones that have to do with like the identity of our business owners, which is like personal information. So after they fill out this wizard, you'll see they'll get a prompt that their dashboard is customized, is personalized, which goes away after a little bit. And then you have the surfaced opportunities on top and then an additional filtering experience below that. Yes. Another design that we had explored and moved away from was a tiered recommendation system. After talking with content folk and doing some preliminary testing with users, they found that it was a little bit confusing, the second tier of like worth exploring. So if we do end up revisiting this design, it would definitely need to require a bit of like reworking of what's the difference between highly relevant, worth exploring, and then all the additional opportunities there. So final recommendation, we can give users a better experience navigating funding and certifications by one, giving users more agency over their experience. So that's the filtering, or if they want personalization, giving them the option to choose. And if they are opting for personalization, we need to be clear about what experiences are being personalized to them. Next steps. Yeah, as I mentioned before, there is an effort to kind of change the layout of this dashboard. So we did some explorations within like the future dashboard designs. And you'll see a multi-opportunity browsing experience, bookmarking feature, as well as an activity history and tracking. And these ones are just features that, yeah, I guess this exploration is kind of about like what more can we do for our business owners experience if we have a lot more real estate to play around with and to work with. Big learnings and reflections from a lot of this work. It's been said before, and I'm here to say it again, but collaboration is so, so, so important. And I guess how it showed up in my experience was really utilizing all of the opportunities for critique. There was a lot of kind of systems already in place in my office. So it was one across all the designers in the office. There's one for just the designers within this initiative, and then there was one for like a cross-functional critique of everyone within this like initiative. So yeah, it's never too early to show feedback to people, and I think like showing people the work I was doing earlier on and like the problem scoping side really helped me like avoid rework later on. Because if I had gotten that feedback later, it would have been, yeah, it would have been a little too far gone. Also, UX and content design are truly inseparable. This is the first time I worked with like content design specialists. And they really just bring in a whole, like, I guess, wealth of knowledge and area of expertise that, yeah, at the end of the day, like the experience the user is getting is they're getting one unified experience. So it should be that collaboration and kind of thinking should be also, yeah, what we do on our end of it. Um, yeah, and lastly, I owe tremendous thank yous to so many people who made this experience so meaningful. So a special thank you to Hannah P., my mentor and supervisor at NJIA, the business experience team there, the design community there. They provided so much support throughout this entire fellowship. Also to Coding It Forward for facilitating this experience, Cassie, and then my fellow fellows. Yeah, yeah, so many thanks. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can see you guys again. Cool. Any questions or comments, thoughts, things you liked, things you didn't?
Hey, Nicole. I have a question. For folks on the call, I'm Hannah. I'm the partnerships manager at Coding It Forward. Nicole, this was really cool to see this process come together. And I'm curious, just from, your own background and like experience with design, now doing this like in the Pit ecosystem, was anything surprising to you? Or, yeah, I guess surprising is the best question. What surprised you most about doing this for a government office this summer?
Yeah, I don't know if this is the same experience that like everybody has in a government office, but I like the design maturity of this office was like so shocking to me. And there's like yeah, there's so much like due diligence that goes into designing for government, and I think everyone takes that work incredibly seriously. So I feel like I've been able to learn a lot on that end. Like, yeah, and I think a lot of the design work um, that I realized is like less on like the actual like UI side. It's just like there's so much research that goes into it, and that is the bulk of designing, especially within I think civic organizations where yeah, it's about encoding public trust and also it's important things. Yeah, so that was a huge I think learning moment for me. Just all the research and invisible work that goes into like a pretty design.